God's chosen ones. Someone feels a divine love for you. Their name starts with this letter. They already love you and haven't even met you yet. You don't know their name yet, but they know yours, not the one you sign on paper. The one heaven calls in the spirit. Their heart has been stirred, not by your looks, not by your status, by your light. And now they can't stop searching because God whispered you into their soul, and they've been dreaming of you ever since. You think you're still waiting, but what if love's already on its way? Because someone heard your name in the silence. Comment 711 if your spirit just remembered who I'm talking about. The moment their soul remembered you. They don't know why they keep thinking about you. They don't know why your spirit keeps brushing against their dreams. Why they've been waking up with the sense that someone is missing. But you do. Because the moment you started healing, someone started remembering. Not with their eyes, with their soul. Long before they know your face, they'll recognize your light. And here's what nobody told you. You've been carrying pieces of someone else's promise, and they've been searching for you through conversations that felt empty and connections that never rooted, because their spirit was reserved. For you, you felt it too. The flicker when a name rises in your chest. The chill when someone says a letter, and your heart leans toward it like it's listening for confirmation. It's not fantasy. It's the echo of a covenant made before you had skin. And now, the veil is lifting. You thought it was longing. It was recognition. They're coming because God already whispered your name into their timeline. They don't just want to love you. They're being called to, and when they arrive, you'll know. Not because they're perfect, but because peace will sit next to you when they do. Part 1. They were drawn to your light before they knew your name. They couldn't explain it. Something about you pulled them in. Not your voice, not your body, not even your smile. It was something else, something deeper, a flicker in their spirit, a warmth they hadn't felt in years. They saw you, but what they felt was home. And that's when they knew this wasn't normal. This wasn't a crush. This was recognition, like their soul had been walking through crowds with a lantern in hand, searching through shadows for a face they hadn't yet seen, but somehow always knew. And when they pushed you, even just once, their spirit stood still, because your light spoke louder than your words. It was in the way you carried the room, the way your silence healed tension, the way your pain never dimmed your grace. They didn't even know your name, but heaven had already tattooed it across their heart. They started noticing things, little signs, familiar phrases, letters that kept repeating in dreams, a memory they couldn't place, as if God was piecing together a puzzle they never knew they were part of. And then they prayed. God, who is this? Why do I feel like I've missed someone I haven't even met yet? And heaven whispered back, you haven't missed them. You're just remembering what's always been yours. This is why the connection won't fade. Because it was never based on chemistry. It was based on covenant. They saw your light before they heard your laugh. They felt your fire before they ever felt your hand. They loved your calling before they understood your name. Because divine love doesn't begin with attraction. It begins with assignment. And when God revealed you to their soul, there was no turning back. Part 2. Your delay was their preparation. It wasn't rejection. It wasn't punishment. It was timing. You called it heartbreak. God called it protection. Because if they had found you too soon, they would have mishandled your heart. Not out of cruelty, but out of immaturity. They weren't ready, and neither were you. You were still doubting your value, still asking people to choose you when God had already set you apart. So heaven paused the story, not to deny you love, but to prepare someone who could carry your calling without crumbling under the weight of your anointing. You see, chosen one, You are not easy to love with flesh. You carry a fire that exposes insecurity, a clarity that melts manipulation, a softness that makes shallow souls feel convicted. It takes someone heaven-trained to hold what you carry and not mistake it for something they can control. So while you were healing from the ones who couldn't see you, God was refining the one who always would. They were learning how to pray, how to lead without pride, how to protect without possessiveness, how to hold space for your wings without clipping them. You weren't waiting on a partner. God was building a priest, and here's what the delay really did. It crushed your illusions, but it awakened your discernment. It burned away desperation and replaced it with standards. And in the quiet, you became a sanctuary, not just a soul. So when they come, you won't just fall in love. You'll recognize a rhythm. Your spirit's been humming since the beginning of time. You were not forgotten. You were being fitted for someone who wouldn't just love your presence, but protect your purpose. Part 3. They don't just love you. They've been assigned to you. They're not coming into your life to complete you. They're coming because heaven sent them. This isn't romance. This is reinforcement. They were assigned not because you're weak, but because your calling is heavy. You've carried it alone long enough. The visions, the warfare, the loneliness that never made sense. And now, someone is being activated to carry it with you. You didn't ask for this. You didn't chase it. You didn't even think you were ready. But God did. You were never meant to walk alone forever. You were meant to walk with someone sealed for your path. They were built to stand beside you, not just in affection, but in alignment when the fire comes. They won't run when the winds shift. They'll anchor deeper. They were trained by storms to be calm in yours. Their spirit knows when to speak and when to just hold your trembling hand in silence. Their prayers are not rehearsed. They're sharp, strategic, silent when they need to be, but deadly against darkness. You don't just need love. You need covering. You don't just need affection. You need discernment paired with devotion. And that's what's coming. They've been walking through their own wilderness, but every lesson was for you. So when they see you, they won't flinch. They won't question. They'll recognize the mantle on your life and treat it as sacred ground. This is the one who will fast when you're attacked, who will speak life when you're empty, who will war in prayer when you're too tired to lift your own voice. Because they weren't just sent to love you, they were assigned to protect what's on your life. And when they show up, your soul will exhale. Because deep down, it always knew, I wasn't meant to carry this alone. Part 4. Their name carries a key, but your spirit already knew it. It started with a whisper. Not a sound, but a stirring, a letter, a name, one that seemed to follow you, repeat itself in strange places. A dream, a conversation, a moment that made your skin feel like it was remembering something your mind had not yet seen. You thought it was coincidence, but it wasn't. It was confirmation, because their name, yes, that name, carries a key, not just to your heart, but to a door in your destiny you haven't been able to open alone. You see, names in Scripture always meant something. They spoke to mission, to covenant, to divine role, and theirs, it was whispered over you before either of you had breath. That's why it keeps showing up. That's why your spirit tenses when someone says it. That's why your body leans forward, as if part of you is reaching toward the future, where they already exist. You don't need to chase it. You don't need to force it, because your spirit already knows. It knew when it got quiet around the wrong people. It knew when love felt loud but never sacred. It knew when smiles didn't match the energy in the room. And it knows that this love, this person, this connection has already been set in motion. That's why you've been sensing it, why you feel a name before it's spoken, why you dream of a presence that hasn't yet stood beside you. in the physical, but already walks with you in the unseen. They carry the sound of your safe place. And when they speak, your spirit will say, "That's it. That's the voice I've been waiting for." Because it's not about letters. It's about alignment. It's about the assignment attached to their name, the way it echoes off your purpose, like it was written next to yours in heaven's archives. And when you meet them, you'll know, not because you'll get butterflies, but because your spirit will go still, as if it's finally come home. Chosen one, you don't need more signs. You are the sign, and they're already following it. Part 5. This love will not complete you. It will activate you. You were never waiting to be rescued. You were waiting to be remembered. And now, the love that's coming, it's not here to fill the cracks. It's here to ignite what was buried beneath them. Because chosen one, you were never incomplete. You were in incubation. Love does not fix you. It frees you. And the one being sent to your life right now won't try to make you smaller to feel safe. They'll make room for your calling to roar. This is not a romance that drains. This is a connection that charges. When you speak, they won't flinch. They'll listen. When you fall silent, they won't walk away. They'll stand guard. They will see what others only admired from a distance, and instead of competing with it, they'll protect it like it's holy. This love isn't cute. It's consecrated. It was born in the fire of God's design, and now it comes to awaken the pieces of you. You laid down just to survive. You won't lose yourself in this love. You'll find yourself sharpened, expanded, bold again. They'll stretch you, not stress you. Challenge you, not chase you. Because the purpose God placed in you requires a partner who doesn't just understand it, but one who will activate it. You'll start dreaming again. Not small dreams, but dangerous ones. The kind that shake the atmosphere. The kind you were scared to say out loud until someone came along who said, "I see that in you, and I'm not afraid of it." This is why it didn't work before. Because you weren't called to be adored like a statue. You were meant to be mirrored by someone who walks in fire like you do. And when they take your hand, it won't be the start of a fairy tale. It'll be the beginning of a kingdom movement that hell will not be able to stop. Because two are better than one. And now, heaven is pairing you, not with comfort, but with activation. This love won't just kiss your forehead. It will unlock your mantle. You're not waiting for love. You're preparing to carry it. Let's be honest. You always knew this wasn't going to be ordinary. Your heart has never fit inside shallow things. You've outgrown fleeting flattery. You've survived the ache of being misunderstood, overlooked, almost loved. But none of that was wasted, because while it felt like delay, God was quietly building you into someone who could carry a sacred kind of love, the kind that doesn't just make you feel seen, the kind that awakens what heaven hid inside you. You're not waiting anymore. You are becoming the one who can receive love without shrinking under it, who can honor love without idolizing it, who can carry love without confusing it for identity. Because this next love, it's not about validation, it's about vibration. Two frequencies tuned by fire, finally resonating in harmony. And the one coming, they won't ask you to dim. They'll ask you to burn. They won't just hold your hand. They'll hold your vision. You're not here because you're desperate. You're here because your spirit knows something's shifting. And the one who's been dreaming of you, they're closer than you think. So tonight, don't ask where are they. Ask God. Prepare me to carry this love like it's holy, because it is, and so are you. You were chosen to love differently, to love prophetically, to love powerfully. Type 777 in the comments if your heart just whispered, "This is my word." Share this with someone who's almost given up on love but just needed one more sign. Subscribe if you know deep down, this is no longer just about love. It's about legacy. You're not waiting anymore. You're ready.